real-world examples. This is a Kenyan coffee. It's from the supermarket, strength 3, so it's going to be the lighter roast that you would get at a supermarket because 2 and 1 don't really exist. It's saying zesty, citrus, and blackberry. They are broadcasting to you that this is going to be a light to medium-bodied coffee. It's going to have, for them, a lot of acidity, but those fruits are kind of clean fruit tastes. It's not kind of funky fruit. That's what they're telling you about this coffee, and from that perspective, you may love or loathe the experience that is coming. Now, this Lavazza Rosso, very popular with a lot of people. Description, rich and full-bodied with chocolate notes. So they're saying to you, this is a heavy-bodied coffee, right? There's going to be very little acidity. There's no fruit words in here whatsoever. So they're saying no to low acidity, lots and lots of body, lots of texture. They're saying intensity 5 out of 10, roasting medium. So you're not expecting a ton of kind of bitterness or kind of harsher, more kind of developed roast flavors, but it's still going to be a big kind of heavy-bodied experience. Back to this bag, which I picked up before. It's a coffee from China, which is interesting. Now, this is described as kind of nutty and sweet here. They say cherry, almond, candied orange, and caramel, right? It's a medium roast. So what I'm expecting is reasonable texture, actually, like some nice body. It's a washed coffee, but I wouldn't expect it to be light-bodied. In addition, it has some fruit, but they're pushing towards kind of cooked fruit, candied fruit in a way. So I would expect some acidity, but not that much. And I wouldn't expect any fermented flavors in this from their particular description. So, you know, I can kind of understand, am I likely to enjoy this or am I not? So this one is really interesting to me because this is a very big coffee company called Taylors of Harrogate, very large UK company, one of the biggest roasters in the UK, doing specialty coffee. Now this is listed right on the front as a natural. So straight away we know we're in for some funky flavors. If we look at the back of the bag, yeah, it says pineapple, coconut, and whiskey. This is going to be a strongly fermented tasting coffee, right? It says natural process. It's roasted for filter. It tells us that. And it also says it's a light roast. So we've got a lot of information. Natural process coffees don't often have the same acidity as washed coffees, but still, if you don't like acidity, they're saying probably avoid this coffee. And if you don't like fermented flavors, then probably avoid this coffee. But if you like those two things, this might be a pretty safe bet. If you're buying it off the shelf, especially if you're spending a little bit of money. Now, in some cases, you may not have any descriptors on a bag, but generally speaking, specialty roasters are wise enough to the whole fermented flavors thing that they will say if it's a natural or not. And so here we know that it is a natural process coffee. So from that word alone, you can make a pretty informed decision around your preferences around those styles of flavors. And then one more. So here it's an espresso roast. So we'd expect it to be darker, and it is strength 4. So they're suggesting it's going to be pretty darkly roasted, not all the way to very darkly roasted, but pretty dark. Descriptors of rich chocolate, spice, and toffee. So no fruit words there whatsoever. We're going to expect really pretty low acidity. They're offering, by the description, some kind of sweetness there, but ultimately it's not going to be a fruity or in any way acidic espresso. I think it's going to be more kind of medium-bodied, but relatively high bitterness and low acid. That's the sort of subtext of this whole thing. So that, I hope, is a really useful guide to help you buy better coffees.